In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use partial lines and also change the line quality of your strokes to add some more visual interest to your work. So we have this road, and in the last video we played with the depth and we got the end to go in and around, and this is going to be a little bit like that. So first we want to make sure, right now what I have is an object that has a white fill, and a black stroke. What I want to do is have one object that is a white fill with no black stroke, and then an object that is a black stroke without any white fill. So the first thing to do is to take the stroke away. So I took the stroke away. Now you can't really see it, although we can see it over here where it overlaps with the N, which is pretty neat. And the dotted line gives us some idea of what we're doing here. And now I'm going to make another layer on top of layer 3, but beneath layer 4, because we want this part of the end to be the thing on top, and I'm going to lock the two ends so we don't mess around with them. Now I want to be on layer 5, so it should be highlighted, and instead of doing, what we need to do is copy this shape, so I'm going to hit Command or Control C, and instead of doing Command V, which pastes, what I want to do is paste in place, which is Command or Control F. Great. And you can tell that it's on layer 5 because layer 5 is pink, and the outline of this object is pink. And we know that, and we see that this white shape is on top. It's covering our dotted lines. Now, we don't have to change the layers around because we can just empty the fill. We don't want a fill on it. We just want a stroke. We also want to make sure that stroke is at 100 for all of them, or the black will look washed out. Now what we're going to do is a little similar to what we did with the N, except instead of the eraser, we're going to use the scissor tool. And the scissor tool is going to open up the shape. So I'm going to click on points. Well, first we want to be safe with our shapes. We want to lock layer 2 where the original shape was so we don't open that. Now on layer 5, I'm going to open that shape by cutting those 2 points, and then I deleted that. So I just opened the road. I'm going to do that again. You can get the scissor by hitting the letter C. And I'm going to open it again, and now if I hit V, I'll get the selection tool, and I can cut that away. So now already this road will feel like it's going off into the distance. Now what we have here is 2 separate pieces. We have this piece and we have this piece. It used to be one whole shape, and the shape on layer 2 still is one whole shape, but these lines are now cut apart. The next thing I want to do, I'm going to select both of them. I'm holding down Shift so I can select them both. I'm going to change the quality of the line from being uniform, which is just a regular straight line. I'm going to play around with these just to see how that looks. I think that looks a little more organic. So I quite like that. And another thing I want to try is seeing what happens if I cut the line apart in the middle. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to hit C, and let's see what happens when I cut this line apart and this line apart. Okay, I clicked away. Now I can click this line. And what I'm really getting at here is that we can still see this shape because of how it overlaps with the N. And I think a lot of shapes are like that, where you can still see the line without actually having the line. And since that's true, you don't need it. We only want to have the lines that we actually need, and we don't want anything extra. So that would be how we could use partial lines to make things look a little more interesting and exciting. You could keep playing around with it and see, what is interesting to you with your own shapes. I think that would be a very valuable thing to do. You just want to make sure that you have enough of the line that you can understand the shape. If you have any questions, please let me know.